I kept bumping up against this ceiling of, always the same numbers of people coming to my events, the same number of people registering. And I was like, I don't know how to break through this. And in 5 minutes, he nailed it. And the very next week, I did my event and I doubled everything. So he's really good at like breaking through those blocks for you. So Shiraz, why don't you introduce yourself, share a little bit about who you are and what you do. So, welcome everyone to the Speakeasy Cafe. I'm Janelle Anderson, your host. The virtual events visionary is what people call me. I help coaches to build thriving businesses with a monthly workshop. I call it the Client Enrollment Workshop. And it becomes a system for you to attract consistent leads and clients and a place to connect with your audience, let them feel you and get to know you. And then you make an irresistible offer and you run that regularly. And it's the same workshop because it leads people right to your offer. And it really becomes a nice system for building a coaching business. So that's what I usually focus on. But today we are here with Shiraz Babu. So Shiraz Babu. And I want to just introduce him to you. He is known as the reality interventionist, which is a thing. And I'll let him share what that is all about and how he came to be that. But I just wanted to say that Roz and I have been in the same circles for a while now. We're just now really getting to know each other. And he helped me out a lot at this event we were at last November I kept bumping up against this ceiling of, always the same numbers of people coming to my events, the same number of people registering. And I was like, I don't know how to break through this. And in 5 minutes, he nailed it. And the very next week, I did my event and I doubled everything. So he's really good at like breaking through those blocks for you. So Shiraz, why don't you introduce yourself, share a little bit about who you are and what you do, and we'll just take it from there.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Janelle. So, um, often things people don't realize that the thing you hate most can be your secret source of joy. So, for instance, I used to hate not making enough money, right? It was frustrating. It was annoying. I was wondering if I'm going to be able to pay my bills each month. I couldn't afford the things I really loved. And, it was frustrating because everything I seemed to do didn't have an effect. And finally, one of my coaches said, actually, Shiraz, you love it. And I'm like, say what? And he said, you love that no one can come up and say, Shiraz, can I have some money? Can you invest in my company? Can you give to my charity? Can you take care of me? Right? You love that you don't feel guilty for having this nice, cushy life while other people are suffering. You love that you don't have to pay a lot of taxes, right? There's all these reasons why you love not making money. And I'm like, okay. So he said you have to change your mindset around that. And it's not that things like if you're not making enough money, you should just not care if people come up and, not think that people won't come up and ask you for money if you do, but it's your reaction to that that's important. So if you think if people are going to come up and ask me for money, there's going to be all these people, so it could be overwhelming, or it'll be family and I'll be guilted into it, or they'll
Mhm.
use pressure tactics to get it, then that's all emotional distress. And your mind protects you from emotional distress with physical circumstances. So it's like, well, how do I avoid the distress if people ask me for money? Don't have money. Problem solved. So I'm like, oh crap. So when you are okay with people asking you for money, then you can have money. So if someone comes up and says, Shiraz, can you invest in my company? Nope. Right? Shiraz, can you give to this charity? Nope. Right. And just take it in stride. If people try to pressure you, it's like, no, you're not pressuring me. Just go, go, go. And there are times where people come up and say, you to invest in this. And I'm like, that is brilliant. Absolutely. Here is some money. But now that the emotional distress is gone, well, at the moment I made that decision to let it go, the next year I added $100,000 to my income.
Oh.
Yeah. And as I looked at other things that were going on, I went from that extra 100,000 to $1 million. So when you keep getting consistent problems in your life, you don't want to ask, what am I doing wrong? What did I do to deserve this? Why does this always happen to me? You want to ask, what's the hidden benefit in this that I'm not seeing? And when you ask that question, it leads you to the emotional problem that you need to solve. And it's going to be one of two things. It's going to be protection against emotional distress, mostly guilt, shame, overwhelm. But other emotion, lower emotions can come in there as well. Or it's going to be for an emotional benefit. Now, this even works when you're not making money. You're like, well, how do I get an emotional benefit when I'm not making money? If, let's say, Allie is working her butt off, but she's not seeing the success she wants, but her friends and family are like, Allie, we see you working so hard, right? We got your back. Keep at it. We know you're going to succeed. On the surface, that sounds like, oh, I've got the supportive community and they're rooting for me. Underneath, your mind can say, oh, they're rooting for me because I'm struggling. If I were to just succeed, they have no reason to say that anymore. And I won't get that love that I feel coming from them for my struggle. So then your mind says, well, let's just keep struggling. As much as you try to succeed, I will sabotage everything and make sure you struggle so that you can keep getting love from everyone and feel good. And your body is addicted to the dopamine, the oxytocin, the adrenaline it gets from people pouring love into you. And it doesn't want to give up that addiction. That's why we call it reality addiction. That's why I'm a reality interventionist.
Hmm.
Now, I went through a similar problem that I was going through struggles, and I made this decision. I can get love for success. I can hang out with people that are aspiring to have more success. We can support each other. We can celebrate each other's wins, and then I can get the love from that source instead of the struggle source. And that was one of the things that caused even bigger shifts that took me for the extra 100,000 to the million.
Wow.
And so now the people I hang out with, we all cheer each other on. We have a great time, and we're all making more money and creating more success. So I switched my addiction from the negative like it's positive feedback for the negative actions, to positive feedback for the positive actions. And this is one of the keys to everything you're doing is you are addicted to everything that's going on in your life, right? You just don't know it. You've unconsciously chosen what you need to be addicted to. And when you start making conscious decisions on what you want to be addicted to, everything changes because you're going to be addicted no matter what. Your body uses these chemical addictions to maintain homeostasis so that everything feels familiar and everything feels normal.
Hmm.
So when you start choosing, oh, I'm going to be addicted to ease, I'm going to be addicted to success, I'm going to be addicted to great relationships, then your body actually becomes addicted to that. So when things go bad, your body's like, this is not normal. We have to push it back to where it's good. Because right now, if you're stuck in struggle, when things go good, your body goes, I'm not used to this. Let's go back to where it was. And that's what's happening in your life right now.
Wow, that's so true. So just so y'all know, like the conversation we had at that event, we got 5 minutes with these leaders, and Shiraz was one of them. And what came out of that was I was addicted, I guess, to not having to be responsible for a lot of people in my program. So I was keeping myself from getting a lot of people in my program because I felt responsible for them and their success. And so subconsciously, I was keeping myself safe from having to take on responsibility for more people. That's what
Yeah.
came out of that for me. So I had to switch that to, I guess, being addicted to what would it be? What would be the opposite of that? It was like I'm not responsible for them and their success. I'm just responsible to show up and deliver what I promised in my program
Absolutely.
and be addicted. Well, I think a part of that for me was really trusting that they can take responsibility for themselves. I don't have to be mama bear. I think I grew up being mama bear.
They're
The oldest
adults,
girl,
right?
yeah. Oldest girl in my family. Like yeah. So that I think that was a part of it.
Yeah.
I'm still working through it.
This
Yeah,
reminds
go
me
ahead,
of
Ollie.
a quote. I had to look it up because I couldn't quite get it right, but it's we choose the familiar hell over the unfamiliar heaven.
Yes.
Mm,
Even if it's not um serving us and our bodies feel the like feel the tension, feel the toxicity, feel whatever you're experiencing as a negative, it feels safer to us over what if it could be better. And
Yeah.
that could be because of our upbringing, right? Because
Mhm.
you were the parentified child. It makes
Yes.
sense that you're
Yes.
now, yeah. So it's just, it's so interesting because some of the clients I work with, it's like they want out so bad from the life that they're living, but it's scarier to even believe it could be better because
Yeah.
it's unfamiliar. And so
Yeah.
that, yeah, it
So,
makes so
yeah.
much sense what you're saying, Shiraz. I love
Yeah.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And your mind is going to defend its current status as hard as it can until
Mm.
you teach it a better way. And then
Mhm.
it will defend that as hard as it can. Like that's the crazy thing. It's just it's not working against you. It just has to be retrained.
Right.
Wow.
And yeah, and like for instance, I used to work hard, right? And it was because and like people get taught you have to work hard to succeed, which is
Mhm.
crap. There are people that hardly work and they have great success, right? You have to be willing to work hard to succeed. That's a big difference from willing to have to.
Mm-hmm. True.
Okay.
Mm.
So, but for me, it wasn't even that because I help people get out of the have to work hard. For me, it was complete ego. So if I'm like, oh, Janelle, you're working an extra hour, I'll work too. Right? Allie's going to stay late tonight. I'll go all night. And so I would get my fix out of look how much I can work more than other people.
Wow.
Right. And then finally, I realized this is an addiction and this addiction's burning me out because a lot of people work really hard and I'm trying to outwork them. So I said, well,
Mm.
what if my addiction came from when things just showed up really easy? Right. And so when something happened easily, I celebrate. I go, yes, it happened easy. And I'm basically giving myself a dopamine hit by that celebration. And I start looking for where things are easy and when people help me out and easy, easy, easy. And it was like hitting that easy button, like, yes, yes, yes. And so I was consciously creating that addiction to ease, which was opposed to the addiction of working hard. So the other addiction dissolved and the new addiction took place. So now, for the most part, my life is really, really easy.
Wow.
I still have hard days? Yes, but I don't get a fix out of them. I get my
Mm.
fix out of the easy days. Right. And so once you're getting that addiction, your reticular activating system is now scanning the world around you for how can it be easy. Your mind is unconsciously problem solving to make things easier. So you come up with ideas like, what if I just do this? Right. And life just becomes easy.
Mm.
Yeah. That's amazing. Thanks for sharing, Ellie.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anybody else have a question or something that's coming up as we're talking about this?
What yours, I just want to speak again, what
Yeah.
you're saying, Shiraz, about just the work hard, that's been one of my biggest blocks in my process and journey of becoming a life coach and a business owner. I witnessed what it was like to sacrifice, to work late hours, to miss out on family events from my father. He was a
Yes.
business owner, and I witnessed my mom have to carry it all while he built up this business. And so I have this understanding that being successful, because their business did become quite successful, but being successful meant giving up time with my family,
Mm.
um, stress about finances, um, lack of connection in relationship. Like I witnessed fighting, like arguing over all that around the business. So I
Mhm.
have this, I guess, unconscious thought and belief that hard work or success is hard work. And I like what you said, like I have to be willing to work hard, not have to. And I guess my question is for myself, but even other clients that come through and they want to shift so bad, you can say these things to them, but where's the how? Like, how do you make that shift?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Would you like to shift now?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about this well, working hard and maybe some other things will come up. When I talk to you, I can tell when your conscious beliefs match your unconscious beliefs. So whenever they're not matching, I'm going to say that's not coming up true.
Okay.
Now, from that, we'll find out what the stories are. And you've already explained a couple of the stories. Once I have a lock on the story, I'm going to ask, are you willing to step out of that story? With that question, I'm looking for a yes or a no. Now, if it is a yes, the yes is a full intentional yes. It has to contain, I'm doing this. The story's not serving me. It can get the hell out. You've got to put that full intention in. When you do that, it actually causes you to rewrite your neural pathways around the story we're discussing. And when that happens, you may feel it in your body. Okay. So most common is feeling of energy in the chest and a release. I've seen people yawn, get hot, get cold, burp. Like your body just processes how it processes.
Yeah.
Now, when people shift around me, even over Zoom, I tend to yawn and cough. So that will happen if you're shifting. So, and just to be clear, it's if you shift, I cough. It's not if I cough, you shift. I don't make you do this. So
Right.
I'm leading you to the thing you need to change, and you're doing the work of changing.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the cool thing is if Dr. Deandra and Sienna are listening, and while I'm talking to you, they go, oh, wait, I've got that same story. Then when I say, Ali, are you willing to step out of that story? They can say yes. Please stay muted when I'm working with one particular person. And it's going to shift for them because, again, I'm just guiding you and you're doing the work. Okay.
Okay.
So that's how the process works. So right now, your dad taught you that you have to work hard to succeed. Okay. That's because he was taught that you have to work hard to succeed. And he's just living in that story. Right. The other thing from what you said briefly, you were taught that you have to make sacrifices for success. Okay. Again, you have to be willing to make sacrifices.
Mhm.
If you create a belief that you have to make sacrifices for success, you therefore have to manifest a life in which sacrifice is necessary so that you can make that sacrifice and feel good about it. Right? But if you don't have to sacrifice, then you can create a life where there's just abundance and no sacrifice is necessary.
Right.
Okay. So let's start with the first one. Are you willing to step out of your dad's story that you have to work hard to succeed?
Yes.
Are you willing to step out of the story that you have to sacrifice in order to succeed? There's
Yes.
there's a lot of resistance coming up from you with that one.
Yeah, the resistance is I had to understand the question again. Can you say it
Okay.
again?
Are you willing to step out of the story that you have to sacrifice in order to succeed?
Yes.
Okay. And the truth is, most people do sacrifice wrong because most people don't understand what sacrifice is. The general opinion of sacrifice now is you have to give up something dear to you in
Mhm.
order to create something. And the true definition of sacrifice is you have to give up something of a low frequency to get something of a high frequency. So
Mhm.
if you're trading in your car for a new one, you're sacrificing the old car for the new car. There's a net gain. But if you're sacrificing time for your family, for your business, there's no net gain. You're just trading one off for the other. That's not really sacrifice, but that's what people get taught.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you are going to sacrifice, do it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So will if you don't work hard to create success, if you just create money easily, success easily, are you disrespecting your dad for after all he went through?
No.
That's not actually coming up true.
Mm.
So are you willing to step out of the story that you have to work hard and sacrifice because your dad did?
Yeah. Hmm.
And what would your dad think of you if he didn't see you working hard?
What would you think of me?
Yeah.
I have a story of what he would think of me.
Well, what's that story?
That I'm lazy. I'm never going to be able to provide for my family.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you willing to step out of that story that if you don't work hard, your dad and other people will think you're lazy and unable to provide?
I'd like to. Yeah.
Okay. So right now, that's not a yes. You're making other people's opinions more important than your happiness.
Right.
So do you have to make sure everyone thinks the right thoughts about you?
Yeah, that's a pattern of mine.
Okay. Are you willing to step out of that story?
Yeah, I want to.
Oh, you're almost so close. I want you's not a
Yeah.
yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay, see how it's hitting you emotionally? Right?
Yeah.
This is what's going on. So as long as you care about what other people think of you, they control your life, even if they're not around.
Right.
Okay. So you want to care about people, but not care what they think of you.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Or unless you're happy with the rest of the world controlling your life. If you're okay with that, then just go ahead, keep worrying about
No.
it.
That's a hard no.
Okay. So are you willing to step out of the story that you have to make sure everyone thinks the right thoughts about you?
Yeah.
Are you willing to step out of the story that you have to make sure no one thinks you're lazy?
Yes.
Okay. So if people think you're lazy and at the same time you're impacting lives, let them think whatever the hell they want. Right? You're still doing what you want to do.
Mm.
Right? Okay. How's that feeling? Better, worse, the same, different?
Um, different.
Okay.
I had a lot of like emotion comes up, which is one of my signals that that's where change needs to occur when I get emotional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So a lot of this feels it's like it's around family.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you have to put family before yourself?
No.
Okay, that's not coming up true. I know you probably teach the opposite. So,
Hmm.
okay. So are you willing to step out of the story that you have to put family before yourself?
Yeah.
Are you willing to step out of the story that you're not a good person if you don't put family before yourself?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm.
I put myself first, always, always, always. And as a result, I help more people now than I ever have before. Because, when you fill yourself up first, you're now in the best position to help other people. If you're
Mhm.
constantly putting them first, you're drained, you're tired, you can be resentful, you can get sick. It's not efficient. Okay, good. That's starting to settle down. Is anything else coming up for you?
Mm. Um, in my body, my I have a lump in my throat that shows up um,
Okay,
when there's blocks. Hmm.
okay. Are you allowed to speak your truths?
Yeah,
Okay, that's coming up true. Okay. Will people get hurt because of your truths?
maybe.
Do you have to make sure no one gets hurt because of your truths?
I believe that sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. So whatever truth you speak, people are going to take it based on their current stories.
Hmm.
But Ali said something. Oh my God, that is life-changing. Thank you, Ali, for saying that. And Ali said something. Oh, who does she think she is? Oh man, no, I'm not going to pay attention to that. Or, oh my
Right.
God, what she said just hurt me. It hurt me to the core. Why would she say that? There are different stories, different reactions. You have to let them be in their world and their stories.
Hmm.
So if you're worried about how they're going to feel, you're going to keep yourself small. You're going to guard what you say. You're going to hide or distort your truths to try to make it palatable. And sometimes hitting them with the truth is exactly what they need.
Hmm.
So are you willing to step out of the story that you have to make sure your truths don't hurt anyone?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Okay, how's that?
Good.
All right. So that's how the game is played.
That was awesome.
Yeah, really awesome.
So much
Thank you
better than
so much.
talking about it, just letting you demonstrate. That was perfect. Thanks, Allie, for stepping into that. And how do you feel?
Yeah, good. It's really interesting method, like
Mhm.
um because when you ask the question, my body, I could tell already knew when I was gonna speak
Mhm.
it
Wow.
from the truth or from fear.
Yeah,
Mhm.
It is interesting. Yeah,
Cool.
very cool.
Thanks
Well
for
done.
playing along. Hopefully you'll see
yeah,
some changes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
remember what I'm talking about. This is an addiction.
Mhm.
So with addictions, what happens, and you may have experienced this, if you've gone through a process like this, gone through a retreat, taken a course, you start to see the results, and then after a few weeks or a few months, you start to lose it.
Mhm.
That's withdrawal. That's not that it didn't work. It's that your body's like, it feels too uncomfortable. Let's go back. So when you start to feel that withdrawal kicking in, you can just say to yourself, nope, stepping out of that story. Because remember, you're the
Mhm.
one doing the shifting. So you don't need me there. You're just like, no, 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 no. We're staying out. We're just stepping out of that story. And it'll keep going.
Right.
Yeah.
It was really interesting after you did that little bit with me, Shiraz, and then next week, and I got new people into my program. And I found myself, my mind going, uh-oh, am I going to be able to take care of these? Am I going to be able to handle them? Am I going to, like those thoughts kept coming back, trying to
Yeah.
draw me back into that. But I just said, no, no, of course I can. Yes, it's, they're going to do their own work. And I've got, so yeah, that
Hmm.
like just being aware of it in the first place, then you'll notice it coming back. And then you just say no and stay in the news story. So
Yeah.
it's just really
Right.
interesting to me.
Yeah. That is your mind trying to protect you, right?
Yeah.
Right. It just hasn't learned yet. I mean, I actually had that same belief you had. And in my program, I would never have more than 20 people because I unconsciously knew, I guess even consciously knew that with 20 people, I can work on every single person throughout the month.
Yeah.
They can all get personalized attention.
Yeah.
And it's only when I let that go and realize that, okay, when I work on one person, like half the room or three-quarters of the room are being affected, that I even started to attract people into the program that never participate.
Wow.
They stay in there, they're in the room, the cameras are off, and they're just taking in all the shifts. And they're like, I love this. Everyone always brings up what I need.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's true. That is very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I'll remember that one too.
Okay.
Because I tend to be that way too. Like I want to make sure everybody's taken care of. But they're learning and getting a lot out of watching everyone else get that
Yep.
personalized, whatever you're talking to with one person. Yeah, I love that. So hopefully Dr. Deandra and Sienna got a lot out of that. I know I did.
Mhm.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, thanks again, and hopefully things will start to shift for you, Allie.
Yeah,
Yeah, awesome.
it will.
Yes, it will.
There's the
Uh,
attitude.
there it is. Before we close, I wanted to have you share your upcoming event next week, and I'm going to drop a link in here. You guys can go to it. Tell us what that's all about on New Year's Eve.
So every year, this is going to be our 12th year, we do an event called Release, Reset, and Reignite Your Magic for the new year. So if you look at what we just talked about, 90% of what's going to happen for your success is about who you are, not what you do. So you can't go into next year and expect results if you're still being who you are this year. New Year's Eve event is about this kind of processes. We have hundreds of people in the room. The more people that are in the room, the bigger the energy, the bigger the shifts. And I just start working with people for several hours, block after block after block, teaching about how to create more wealth, more success, more confident, better relationships. And we basically pull out the limiting beliefs, the negative thoughts, the old habit patterns in that period. And it runs from noon Eastern to 4 p.m. Eastern.
Nice.
So you still get to go celebrate New Year's Eve if you want, or chill for the evening after you've gotten clean from this event. And yeah, and so the code is there. It's gonna when you click that link, it's actually gonna default to Holly Yay,
Oh,
which
okay.
will give you $70 off. But if you switch it to Janelle, you'll get in for free.
Okay, perfect. So
Yep.
they take off the Holy A and put Holly A and put Janelle in place of it.
Yep. So I
Okay.
combined holiday with yay and got
Yeah.
Holly.
Holly A. Awesome. All right. So I put that link there in the chat for you all to grab, and also we'll put it under the show notes. Hopefully this will get up before New Year's Eve. I'm gonna have to tell my guy to make sure it's gets up there. Let's see, today, yeah, we've got another week, so should be. But awesome. Anybody have any questions for Shiraz before we say goodbye? And how was this for you all? Pretty cool, huh?
Mm,
Yeah.
really cool. I didn't
Yeah.
know what to expect, but I was really pleasantly surprised.
Yes, you guys hit the lottery coming today. All those other people that registered and didn't come, well, too bad. Dr. Deandra.
Hi, I just had a question. Is
Yeah.
there a way to guide yourself through this, or I don't know if that's the right question, but I don't feel like I
Yeah, I
have
get the
access to you all
question.
the time. So.
Remember,
Okay.
your subconscious is trying to protect you. So while you try to guide yourself through it, it's going to do everything it can to make sure you don't get to the answer. That's why you want to work with someone else.
Mm,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, this was good. I'm
yeah,
curious for my own block. I'm like, I need to be more visible and ask the same question. So this is good.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Come to the event. You'll get lots of
Yeah.
chances.
I love how you say I need to be more visible
I
and
know,
your
and she's
camera
off
comes.
camera. I was thinking the same thing.
I can be. I
You
can be
are.
on camera. I was just sitting here. I was moving around. Hi, everybody. And so I was like,
Yeah.
oh, let me be off camera, but I can be on camera.
All right.
That's hilarious.
Okay.
Thank you for the
I
accountability.
accidentally took us all off spotlight. Where are you? Awesome. Okay,
But
yay. It's good to see
yeah.
you
And
actually.
yeah, and it's funny because I was in a room where there was a visibility coach and she had her camera off the whole time.
What?
And I'm like, ah.
That doesn't work.
Right.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's I with me like getting the money, getting the extra $100,000. I was stuck doing this work for 10 years
hmm,
before it occurred to me, hey, maybe this isn't a strategy problem of trying to get more clients and make more money. Maybe it's a mindset problem. And I went and worked with a coach and found that belief. And right after that belief, things just started to take off after I got that belief shifted. So yeah, it's funny how like I should have thought of it earlier, but my mind was so centered on protecting me that it didn't even occur to me to look for someone to help for 10 years.
yeah.
Right. So,
That's true for most of us, really.
yeah.
Because I know with that one that came up at JVX, I was like, for years, like the last several years, especially, like it's always the same number. And I was so frustrated because I couldn't get past that number and I didn't know what it was. And I think trying to do it on your own, you just, like you said, you're protecting yourself. Your subconscious not going to let you see
Yeah.
it. Um, and that day it was you plus two other people, and the same thing came up three times. I'm like, okay, well, I think this is a thing.
It's the thing.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was really interesting.
Yeah. And
Awesome.
and just so you know, this technique is not something that's intuitive for me. It is completely teachable. I certify people in it.
Oh, do you?
And when I train people, then they start doing swaps, which was one of the blocks I used to have because I'm like, why would I teach you to do this? You wouldn't come to me anymore. But
Oh,
since I started teaching it, it's actually increased my business. It's actually doubled my business when I started teaching the techniques.
wow.
And now in that community, people will just call each other up. It's like, can we do a swap and clear our own beliefs? And then
Wow.
yeah, the whole community just functions to help each other out.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes, you just really multiplied yourself.
Yep.
How do you know when, like you said a couple times there with Allie, like that's not coming up true?
Mhm.
How do you know that?
That's one of the things I teach. I've with me, it comes in however it wants to come in. So I
Mhm.
used to have the problem like I'd be in a room and if it was like an energetic thing, people would say, oh, can you feel the energies? Or did you see the spirit guides come in? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not feeling anything. I'm not seeing anything. And finally, I just made this agreement. Let it show up for me however it needs to show up so I can be effective. And I will
Mhm.
accept however it shows up. And when I got rid of the control and it's like, why can't I see it? And how am I supposed to? And this is how it's supposed to look like. And I just surrendered to it.
Mm.
Sometimes I see it, sometimes I feel it, sometimes I taste it, right? Sometimes like it just comes in however it needs to come in. I have one client, with her, taste is what happens with negative beliefs and shifting. She'll be like, "Oh, that feels horrible." And whenever I'm working with her, we link up. So I'll say, "Is this a problem?" And then we'll at the same time you'll watch us both on camera. It's like both of us go, "Oh, yeah, that's it. Oh, that tastes horrible."
That's so interesting.
Right?
That is fascinating. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we really, really appreciate you coming, Shiraz, and being willing to share your gift here with us in this little group. But I know you are working with many, many people and really excited about this event. I haven't been to it yet, so I'm gonna be there. And you all should be there too. And I know that you do a lot of other things. You have a Monday thing, don't you? Is that for everybody or anybody? Is that?
Oh, there's the second Monday of every month. I
Yeah.
do a free workshop, the Coach's Money Mindset Reset,
Oh yeah,
to
yeah.
help coaches make more money, change the mindset. And
Awesome.
actually, strategically, Allie, what is your title? What do you tell people you are?
So I'm currently just listed as a life coach, but I am I've only been in, started my business for a year. So I'm leaning towards somatic practitioner. I'm studying in the new year. I'm doing a program, so I'll become somatic practitioner and relational coach, like focusing on relational attachments. I do some inner child work also with my clients. So I'm more gearing towards the relational attachment piece. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would start using the relational coach sooner than later, but
Yes.
Yeah.
there's millions of life coaches out there.
Yeah. And life
Yeah.
coach doesn't
Just
mean anything.
fade into
And the word life coach never felt like that was it for me. Like I'm like, that's just too broad for one, but it never felt like it fit. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'd
and
like
I
to
get it.
move
I
away from that.
absolutely, because I started off as a life coach, then I became
Mm-hmm.
a transformational coach, then I
Mm-hmm.
became a belief shifting specialist.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I changed the title, more interest was in with the right focus. And then when I
Right.
became a reality interventionist, even though people might not get what that is, they go, "Ooh, tell me
Mm.
more."
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to be a somatic practitioner, relational coach, or relational specialist. The thing with relational, I think people might um, link it to like relationship coach, which
Mm-hmm.
like for couples,
Yeah.
Mm.
which works. I do work with a lot of couples individually, but it's something that, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
toying with. So that's
Yeah.
a good point.
So remember, you have to use language that people will either understand immediately or lean into. So if
Yeah.
you say somatic coach, I don't know. I mean,
Right.
I know, but
Yeah.
for the average person, I don't know what that. So there's no connection,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
right? And so that's where you want to choose your titles. So, because some people I know, they give themselves a really fancy title and no one knows what the hell it
Nobody
is,
knows.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so as soon as it's relatable and it's powerful,
Yeah.
people just come and, okay, I want to have a conversation with you, or they'll get it. It's like, oh, I need you. Just from the
And,
title, I need you.
And also
right.
you have to stay away from the technology of what you do or the methodology. Like somatic coach to me is like the technique. But
Mm,
if your title is more focused on results for them, like what do they really want or need, and give that to them,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
I'm
yeah, I'll give you my intro that I use at networking events. Okay. Um, Aspiring entrepreneurs hire me to create a consistent six-figure business because they are done with falling short of their income goals, feeling invisible no matter how hard they work, and watching less qualified competitors get all the clients.
Mm.
So I
Yeah.
help you build consistent income, be the go-to person in your field, and attract raving fans ready to pay in full. Bottom line, you'll get to six figures and stay there.
Mm,
And you see how I've talked about the pain and I've talked about the outcome,
Mm-hmm.
mm,
right? Did I
mm.
talk about belief shifting at all?
No,
No,
No.
because no one cares,
no,
right?
I don't care how you get them there. They just
Yeah.
want to know you'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good point. Oh, I appreciate that feedback. Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Well, I'm going to drop a link too, because I have a masterclass, a pop-up masterclass next week coming up on the 30th called Launch Strong. It's especially for new coaches who are still trying to get started, and maybe they're just chasing after that next client. Don't have a system in place, don't have a plan. And so as we begin 2026, we're going to spend 3 hours coming up with a plan that works and looking at where you are now, what you need to put in place as you start the new year so that you can launch strong. And you might be already launched, but you're not getting anywhere and you're not making money, you're not attracting clients. So you all are welcome to come to that as well. It'll be the day before Shiraz's, so then we can go to his and get clear out of all of our blocks and be ready for the new year.
Hey,
Yeah, and that's free, and I put the link in the chat. So, well, thanks to everybody for coming. I know one had to drop off, and I know that those of you watching the recording later, we will have the links below the video for all of you as well. Thank you so much, Shiraz, for coming. This has been so much fun.
thank you, Janelle. I enjoyed being here.
Amazing. Yeah, you're welcome, and happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Thank you,
See you guys.
everyone.
See you next
Thank-
week. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Shiraj. It was really awesome.
Oh, thank you.
And every time you speak, it's like you are speaking to the soul because it's so true that it touches you.
Yeah.
So I have attended some of your sessions before also, and they were like very, very impressive. And
Oh,
I like when you speak, it's like it's so fluent, it's so nice, it touches your soul. So I really love listening to you. And
thank you.
today's session was also really amazing. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
And thanks for coming, Sienna, all the way from Ireland.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice meeting you too, Janelle.
Yes. All right. We'll see
All
you
right.
guys later. Have a wonderful day.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.